Hello, friends. Welcome to the Soaring Spirits Festival of Hope. I'm so excited to be coming to you guys live today for our very first ever live stream for the Festival of Hope. I see we have one person who's joined us already. That's super exciting. We've got some folks starting to pop in. My name is Jenny Sellers, and I am Soaring Spirits Global Operations Manager. And we are so excited to be bringing the very first live stream of the Festival of Hope to you guys today. Michelle will be joining us in a few minutes, but before she gets here, I wanted to come on to share a little bit about the structure of the Festival of Hope and how you'll be able to find the various elements that we'll be presenting throughout the 18 weeks. So to begin, the Festival of Hope was created as an 18-week program. Hi, Angel. So good to see you. So happy you're here with us. The Festival of Hope was created as an 18-week program to help us all come together as a community to walk through the end-of-year rituals and traditions that may not be accessible to us this year in the ways that we would normally celebrate them. It was really important for us to create this program, this sense of community during the challenges that we're all facing right now. On that note, what that means is that the Festival of Hope is available to anybody. For those of you who might be joining us who don't yet know about Soaring Spirits International, we are a nonprofit organization that provides peer-based programs and resources for those who are widowed. Now, like I just said, the Festival of Hope is for anybody and everybody. It's not even specific to the grieving community. It can be accessed and shared with friends and family, anybody who you feel would benefit from having a community as we walk through the end of this year and into the first week of 2021. So we're so happy you guys are here. Please, again, feel free to share this with your friends and family, anybody who you know who might be having a moment of feeling a little bit adrift during this period of isolation. So with that, I wanted to share a little bit about the structure of the Festival of Hope. Many of you guys will have already registered. Some of you guys who are watching on our social media channels might not have yet registered. The Festival of Hope will be largely happening on our social media channels, but because we recognize the fact that not everybody feels comfortable on social media, we're also live streaming this video straight to our Facebook channel, to our YouTube channel, and on the Festival of Hope website. So how awesome is it that we can simulcast this content to all the different areas where anybody who has an internet connection can find us? So keep that in mind with however you're joining us. That will dictate whether you'll be able to see some of the comments coming through. I do see some comments coming through from Facebook. If anybody's watching us on YouTube right now, feel free to leave a comment because we can see those as well. If you're watching us on the Festival of Hope website, you may not be able to see those comments coming through, and you won't be able to leave a comment. So if you are able to join us on YouTube, if you're not a Facebook user, if you don't feel comfortable on social media, please know that we've created this space for you on YouTube as well, where you can comment on the live video over there. On that note, I am going to pop up our YouTube channel right here so you guys can find us. It's really easy. Just go to youtube.com/C and Soaring Spirits International. So you can find us there. You can find us over on our Facebook page, which if you just go to Facebook, you can search for Soaring Spirits International. And beyond that, you can find us on the Festival of Hope website. To go there, it's really easy. Just go to soaringspirits.org. There will be a giant banner that says Festival of Hope. If you just click on that, it will take you directly to that link right there. So I think that covers where we'll be coming to you from. Let's also chat about how you can find us and the structure of the way the weeks will go throughout these 18 weeks. I'm going to share my screen with everybody so that you can kind of see what I'm looking at to walk you through where you can find us. So give me 2 seconds to get this pulled up. Let me grab this guy. Okay, cool. This should come through here in a second. Fantastic. Let's take a look. Oh, let me just turn it on. Sorry, guys, we're using a little bit of new technology. So there we go. There it is. I'm actually going to make this the largest image. So what you can see on this image, so everybody will have received this image in an email, or if you signed up after last Friday, if you registered to join us for the Festival of Hope last Friday, this would have been in your confirmation email, a link to this image. So you can always know where to find us. Basically, the way that it's going to work is on Sundays, you will be able to find our inspirational quote of the week on the Festival of Hope website, as well as all of our social media channels. Now, we realize that hope sometimes has a rainbows and butterfly feel to it. These quotes will not be that version of hope. These quotes will be more gritty hope quotes. You may have noticed our quote from yesterday by Anne Lamott, starting with the phrase that hope can be found in the darkness, which is exactly where hope begins. So those inspirational quotes will be available on all of our social media pages, as well as the Festival of Hope website. Every Monday for the next 18 weeks, we will be coming to you live right here from Facebook, YouTube, and the Festival of Hope site. So you can find us on our live streams where we introduce the theme of the week. The Festival of Hope has 2 different aspects to it. It has a theme of the week, which has been inspired by a ritual or tradition. So on Mondays, we'll be introducing the theme of the week. On Tuesdays, we will have a pre-recorded video posted on all of our social media channels, as well as on the Festival of Hope site and YouTube, that was created by one of our community members for whom the tradition that we will be celebrating throughout the week has significance or is valuable to them for a number of different reasons. So those pre-recorded videos will be posted in all of those places. Wednesdays, we will be posting a ritual fact sheet as well on our social media pages, as well as the Festival of Hope site. Are you guys catching on to the theme, by the way? Most everything you can find either on our social media pages or the Festival of Hope website. We also, on Thursdays, will be our community Zoom calls. So you guys are welcome to join us on these Zoom calls. Every Thursday, registered attendees of the Festival of Hope will receive an email with those Zoom links on them, so that you'll have easy access to join us. That's why it's really important to register for the Festival of Hope if you have not done so already, so that we can share that information with you. We'll also be sharing all of the information for the upcoming week ahead. Fridays will be live entertainment on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and the Festival of Hope website. Yet again, those times will be a little bit fluctuating based on the availability of our entertainers and our live acts. We're really excited to be able to enter into each weekend with you guys that way. And Saturdays on all of our social media pages and the Festival of Hope site, we will be posting a ritual specific recipe, as well as one of our holiday hope tips. Now, I also would like to share one other screen with you. This is going to be the Festival of Hope site. So give me 2 seconds to get that pulled up for you. Just wanted to take you on a quick tour of where you'll be able to find all of these replays, because all of these live streams or the Zoom calls, everything's going to be recorded and accessible to you through the Festival of Hope website. So give me 2 seconds to pull up this next screen, if it will let me. Here we go. We are coming right in. I do see that Michelle has joined us on the call, so we'll grab her as soon as we just walk through this one spot. So Here we go. All right, you guys. Here we are on the Festival of Hope website. Like I said, soaringspirits.org. And here, actually, I'll take us there. Oops, not from there. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, y'all. Here we go. So we're at soaringspirits.org. And if you click on that banner, it will take you to the Soaring Spirits Festival of Hope site. This is where we will be live streaming. So if I were to press play right now, you would see us live there. And over here on the sidebar is where we're going to have galleries for every single element that we just discussed. So if you want to see all of the quotes of the week as we continue through these 18 weeks, you will see the Hope quotes. So it does not matter when you join us. You can join us later down the line. You can join us in October or November, and you will still have the benefit of going back through all of these individual elements. We will also be posting the theme introduction videos, again, recorded and played here for the replay. The community member messages, every single you will find here, and it will be a gallery as we continue on. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to go ahead and bring Michelle in on this call, you guys. We are so excited about this, and let's get her in here to share this with you. We have a comment. Festival of Hope on the website is not yet streaming. If you press the play button, it should work for you. Let me know how that goes for you, Linda. All right, here we go.
Thanks so much, Jenny, for all of that information and for managing all of the back end. Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to see you. I'm so excited to be sharing the Festival of Hope with all of you. And I would just ask that you give a lot of love to our tech team. There are a million working pieces behind in the background, as you probably can guess from all of the things that Jenny was sharing. So we have a lot going on. We're working it out as we go. So your patience while we make all of these different elements kind of blend and work together is really appreciated. Our community has always been so kind to us, and we're counting on that kindness as we go forward. So I thank you for that. So welcome to the first week of the Festival of Hope. I know that our Hope quote didn't post right away, but we're all set now and ready to go and beginning this journey of 18 weeks together. I'm really, really excited to share it with you. So we are starting out honoring the high holiday of Rosh Hashanah. And what we have discovered is that throughout, as many of you probably know, throughout the end of the year, almost every community, religious group has either one or many rituals towards the end of the year. And these are important milestones for communities around the world that may be altered by the current state of ability to gather as a result of COVID-19. So we're looking forward to offering the opportunity to partner through all of these different rituals. So Rosh Hashanah is our inspiration for this week's theme, which is welcoming sweetness. I want to just say that again, because I know that we have all had our own struggles and challenges with 2020. I've seen a million great memes, I bet you have too, relating to the challenges that 2020 has presented. It seems like one right after the other. So welcoming sweetness may feel a little bit like a challenge, speaking of challenges, because we're looking for the goodness. But what I love, the reason we chose welcoming sweetness as our opening theme, and two, as a theme relating to Rosh Hashanah, is that, Rosh Hashanah welcomes the new year and invites sweetness into the new year. And it felt to me like that was the perfect way for us to welcome sweetness into the 18 weeks that we're going to have together. I've heard a number of people say, they'll tell me something that they're struggling with. And then they'll say, oh, but it's nothing compared to what other people are struggling with. And sort of set aside the challenges, the personal challenges that they've experienced during this time, because it doesn't feel big enough or hard enough when you compare to the massive challenges that people are facing around the world right now. And so I find myself wanting to just remind all of us that whatever thing it is that you're struggling with, whatever part of this, whether it's huge, like the death of someone you love in the pandemic, or the loss of your house in a fire, or the death of someone you love due to any other means during this time where you're unable perhaps to have the funeral that you thought you would have, or financial challenges related to jobs. There's a million different ways that we're all, as a huge global community, struggling. And whatever the way it is, whatever way COVID-19 is impacting you personally, it's okay to be able to say out loud, this is hard. This part is hard. What I would like us to also do is welcome sweetness to sit beside all of the things that are difficult. It can be difficult to seek out sweetness when we feel overwhelmed by things, whether that's our own challenges or others, whether it's our own fears and anxieties or other people's fears and anxieties. But the concept of welcoming sweetness includes this idea of looking for sweetness, of seeking out the sweet moments during the day, of creating those sweet moments for yourself and for others. And so when we talk this week about welcoming sweetness, I encourage you to not just welcome it, but seek it out. So a friend of mine, in fact, you're going to meet her, Leslie Streeter. So Leslie, if you see this video later, I'm talking about you, friend, recently moved to the Boston area. And many of you know Leslie. She left her job in Florida and returned to her home state and to her home city. So she's now closer to her family, and her son is able to grow up with more family members around. And recently we were talking, and she said publicly on social media, she said, I feel kind of bad about having so many great things in my life, but I'm just going to take that. I'm going to take all the great things. And I love that idea, because that's exactly what we have to do. We have to not only acknowledge the hard things that come with the time that we're living in the world, but we must also allow ourselves to sit with sweetness, to seek out sweetness, to have sweet moments. And I mean, it can be just a moment. It can be going to, you'll hear me talk a lot about coffee because I like coffee, but you could be going to a coffee or a tea shop and getting your very favorite one and sitting for just a minute and allowing yourself to let everything else go and just be in that sweet moment, welcoming the sweetness that is included in just sitting with a warm cup of something or a cold cup of something, whatever it is that would be a filling opportunity for you. So, but it's beyond having the moment. It's welcome it, be in it, bathe. I always say, take a bath in it, take a bath in sweetness. Maybe you have the opportunity to have a Zoom connection with one of your family members. Maybe you have family members who live at home with you. I can tell you that one of the things that has been sweet for my family is that one of my kids moved back home, and we've been having dinners for four regularly at a time when so much else is hard in the world. To just be able to sit down here and be together is a moment of sweetness. And whatever other hard things are happening, they are still there. But sitting beside that also, right, is this idea that the sweetness sits right beside the challenge. What we do when we are able to acknowledge the sweetness in our life, to seek it out, is then we have the opportunity to share it. And that is the purpose of the Festival of Hope. We want to be able to share sweet moments with you over the next 18 weeks. And we hope that you'll take those opportunities to share sweetness with other people. Because when we allow ourselves that relief that comes from being able to sit with things that are wonderful, then it gives us a little more energy to deal with the things that are hard. So the idea, I just felt so inspired by the idea of Rosh Hashanah welcoming sweetness into the new year intentionally, right? With intention the purpose is to say, I accept and welcome sweetness. And so I really want to encourage all of us to have the opportunity to do the same, to welcome sweetness in whatever way works for you. There's no individual level of sweetness that might work, but whether it's a family connection or a connection with a friend or a connection with your beloved pet or a connection with someone who is in need and you're able to reach out and be a kind listening ear, whether it's really wrapping yourself up in a food that you love or a drink that you love. I know that I've seen lots of people, pictures of people in their pools and in their spas. And though our experiences, there's 450 people signed up for the Festival of Hope. We're super excited about that. Of those 450 people, of all of our people who have signed up, we all have different experiences. So there's not going to be one thing that we could all say, oh, this is the sweetness for me this week. Instead, we're going to be seeking it out. We're going to be looking for that. So I'd love if you would in this content, in the comment stream, and remember that this comment stream will be posted. So we'll be able to see it on our Facebook page. You'll be able to see it on the YouTube page. Go ahead and please share, if you would, some of your moments of sweetness. It can be a small thing. It can be a big thing. It can be anything that feels sweet to you. And then remember that the next step is to take a bath in it. Bathe in the sweetness. Actually, bath might be another way to have a moment of sweetness. But the idea here is to allow that space for sweetness intentionally and for us to enter into this time together with that as our primary goal, is offering each other not only a space where we can face the challenges that we're all facing as a community, but also to celebrate the joys and the small moments of sweetness and the big moments of sweetness that come. I don't know if any of you might be welcoming children or grandchildren into families, if any of you have experienced new joys that were unexpected during this time, if you've had the opportunity to, some of you may have had loved ones who are sick and have recovered. So I know that the moments of sweetness will be varied across a number of experiences, but the collection of that sweetness offers us all an opportunity to be inspired by the sweetness in other people's lives. My last thought for this is also to encourage you to share that sweetness and remember that sometimes when we're sharing our challenges, we feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't tell people that because I don't want them to think I'm complaining, or other people have enough going on. But you'll have perhaps you have a person or you have a space where you're able to hold those challenges. Sometimes I think the flip side is true for wonderful things that happen, that we don't share them as often as we share the hard things because they kind of come and go, right? They don't have the same level of drama as some of the harder things. If we were just talking about this actually at the dinner table last night, is what's the likelihood that a person who has had a bad interaction with a business, so a customer service interaction gone bad, they're 20 times more likely to share that than they would be to share a positive experience. And for me, that just reminds me that we probably need to share positivity more often, that we probably need to share our sweetness and our joys and compliments more often, because so many times those are the things that just get swept aside. Oh, that was great. Okay, now I'm done with that. But if it was hard and it required, another level of drama or intensity, many times we'll be more focused on that, right? We'll share that, we'll talk about it. But the sweetness kind of can get swept by very quickly. So let's take this week and not sweep the sweetness under the rug. Let's take this week and truly revel in the sweetness that we experience in small ways and large. And as we walk through learning about the traditions and meaning of Rosh Hashanah, I hope that you'll be inspired to continue to welcome sweetness. As we move forward into tomorrow's programming, I just want to introduce that Joanne Fink will be joining us with a personal story about what Rosh Hashanah means to her. I am looking forward to being able to share our Zoom event, which is going to be called Community Apples and Honey. So if you're joining us for Zoom, we're going to ask you to bring some apples and honey along, because that is a traditional representation of welcoming sweetness into the world. Oh, Adele, thank you. She says her sweetness was driving to Virginia 2 weeks ago to see my sailor home from an extended sea deployment. I hadn't seen him in a year, got to see my daughter-in-law and granddaughter also. Oh, Adele, that's exactly it. I'm so glad you got the opportunity to have that. And won't that sweetness last for a while, having the opportunity to be together. Thank you so much for sharing. So we're going to use these comment streams as an opportunity to share those sweetnesses. And again, I hope that whatever you share inspires someone else to share. And as we go along through the 18 weeks, we'll all get familiar with the various types of technology we're using. Linda, I promise that we're going to figure out how to get that live stream working consistently. This is a new platform for us, so we're working out the kinks as we go. Thank you so much for your patience and your feedback. All of you, if anything's not working, we need to know, so please don't hesitate to let us know. We really are working very hard to make sure that we get you access. And then we're looking super forward to this Friday's entertainment. Mickey Spear is going to be joining us. Jenny is going to be introducing her, and she's going to be sharing some music with us. So what we hope for you over the next rest of this week, so is that 5 more days, is that we have an opportunity to share some sweetness with you. That's our goal. Oh, good. And sweetness is driving to a beautiful park and spending time in nature. Absolutely. And for many of you to be able to have that opportunity, one of the things we know is that as the weather changes and all of the different things that are happening, those moments of being able to be outside really have such a new level of sweetness associated. So I'm grateful that you got the opportunity to do that. And thank you so much for sharing it here. All right, friends, so what we're going to do is I'm going to leave you here. Remember that these broadcasts will be relatively short, so we'll be somewhere between probably between 20 and 30 minutes, I'd say, on average. Our intention is to make this easy for you to participate, for it not to feel like an overwhelming amount of time that needs to be spent in order to access the program details. So I will close out today by reminding you to take a bath in sweetness. Please continue sharing in the comments. Remember, this video will be stored both on our social media pages and as well as on the Festival of Hope website. So people will have an opportunity to read some more of your, oh, Debbie, I'm so glad you got to FaceTime with your grandson. And Debbie Holmes is recovering from a challenging accident several months ago. And Debbie, I'm so glad to see that you got to FaceTime with him. And also I saw that you're moving along in your recovery. So congratulations on all your hard work, because I know that you have worked your butt off to get where you are. Sending you a lot of love. Okay, friends, well, I will leave it here for today. Tomorrow, you'll be able to see Joanne's video. That will be posted in the morning. I encourage you to watch and just learn a little bit about what Rosh Hashanah means personally to Joanne. We'll be doing this with everything. Next week, we're going to be looking into the fall equinox. And so just to give you kind of a preview of where we're going next week, we'll be talking about the glorious colors associated with fall, one of my personal favorite seasons. So looking forward to being able to talk to you next week about that and participating as we go forward into what we are going to commit together with intention is going to be a sweet week, because the moments of sweetness are going to be there whether or not we take the time to acknowledge them. So let's acknowledge them. Oh, and I've got one more. I can't close up without saying to Helen, her sweetness and moment of pure joy in a summer of personal grief was the birth of her first grandchild 2 weeks ago. Haven't seen her yet. She lives in another province, hopefully in October. Oh, Helen, congratulations. And what a beautiful joy. I am so glad to hear that. And thank you for sharing it with us. That's exactly it, isn't it? The sweetness that babies bring, and just knowing she's there and well is such a beautiful gift. Okay, be well, everyone. Take a bath in some sweetness. Please share it with us as you do, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks so much.